we're on a cusp of a new monetary system. And I'm going to explain why. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the pod 5x5. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in this world. Boy, oh boy. It is interesting times that we live in today. As you see, more and more people are committing crimes and things are starting to degrade. And some people don't even notice it wherever they live. Mr. M came back and told me that he went back to Italy and in his hometown and seeing all kinds of craziness going on, crime and people getting raped and murdered, and they're acting like people are acting, well, yeah, that's just the way it is and it's okay. And he's like, what planet are you from? Right? I know I live here in Dubai, but come on, people. We didn't accept this behavior. Well, this is a symptom of a collapsing financial system. If you look at history, the same thing happened over and over again to many different civilizations. People got wiped out. Slowly, their wealth eroded. They lost their jobs because the wealth moved only to the top 1%. Because they were able to print money for free. In fact, you can see it today with the top 7 stocks talking about spending $2 trillion each on AI. And you're like, but your gross revenue of all 7 is 1.4 trillion. Like, what? Oh my goodness. And then you hear, then you see the hubris, right? When you see the CEO of ChatGPT coming out and saying, when he was asked about, hey, you plan to spend 1.4 trillion, but you don't make enough money in order to cover that debt. How you plan on doing that? And instead of explaining that, oh, I'm just going to print money at 0% interest rate because I have the Fed by the balls, he says, you can just sell your stocks, gaslighting the investor. Now, this kind of hubris for money printers or people who have access to the money printing, right, is an example of where you can see a collapse coming, if not through a bubble collapse, right? Obviously, this looks like a bubble to me at this point, an AI bubble, but through a collapse of the money supply, the money system. Because if they print that kind of money and give it to these corporations, which they might, because hey, do you want to wipe out all the retirees, right, and make them poor, or do you want to, save them with debased dollars and give them the dollars that they were promised? It's a tough choice, right? Tough choice. I'm not sure which way the Federal Reserve was going to choose, but you can see it everywhere. Here, you can see that the debasement trade is something that people are talking about and actually planning for. And you can see gold is also part of this debasement trade. And it's interesting how, I was shocked. I'm just glad it's Reuters that's saying this. That means hopefully more media outlets are saying this. The best dollar debasement trade is to do nothing. I'm hoping this is the narrative, right? Because if it is the narrative, right, then you have to do something. They've just confirmed you have to do something now, right? So I'm not going to get into why you want it, what this guy has to say. But if you're holding dollars and doing nothing except holding dollars, you are going to lose a lot of wealth. If you continue to work at a job and you do not increase your income by 10% or more at this job, you're going to lose your wealth, right? This is it. Pay attention. Do something now or suffer the consequences, period. Now, what do you do is the question you might have. What should I do? And I know it's really difficult to figure that out, because even if you do figure it out, to execute is a really difficult thing. Why is that? So many people say that they're going to buy Bitcoin, right? Even people who actually have Bitcoin, and they don't. They put it off. They say, well, I'll wait for it to go lower, or whatever reason they may have. Oh, I'll have some cash next month. They put off doing what they know to be is the right thing. So imagine if you have been doing the wrong thing, which is investing in stocks, investing in bonds, right? Holding cash. It's next to impossible, even though you know it's wrong, it's the wrong way to go, to switch out. 100%. 100%. Even I have that problem, right? When I learn the next step to do, I have a problem of executing. We all do. Because we are creatures of habits. We like to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And even when I understood that I needed to get out of stocks, liquidate my retirement, and sell my home, I hesitated for a while. I did. But I finally did it, right? And once I did that, I felt so much better, and it actually helped me out in the not even in the long run, in the short term. A few years later, just 5 years later, it paid off in dividends. And I'm not going to explain how, but just trust me, it was the best decision I had ever made. So thus, if you can find the courage to start executing on moving out of the US dollar, moving out of stocks, moving out of bonds, if you could do that, man, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. You don't have to go to Bitcoin. You can go to gold and silver. But if you go to Bitcoin, you have a bigger upside eventually over the next 10 years. This is the case. Okay? So you either accept it and execute, or you accept it and don't execute, or you don't accept it at all. Those are your three choices that you're going to make in the next little while. I hope you make the right one. Okay, with that said, if you want to buy some Bitcoin, I have a website for you, x.dj15.com. Excellent website, allows you to choose your exchange that's best for you. Also, if you're interested in trading, which we're going to go over some of the charts shortly, you could do so by heading over to x.dj15.com. Links are in the description below. Let's continue with what we're seeing here. Oof, man. You might say, where's the debasement trade? Bitcoin is going down. Again, I've said this many times. I'm going to say this again, along with the fact that Bitcoin is quantum safe. I will be talking about that again in today's episode on the Daily Hodl Show, so check that out. Again, right? Bitcoin, the only way for institutional players to get Bitcoin, because they have a policy, we don't buy up markets, we buy down markets. So they have to get somebody to sell. They have to get Bitcoin to come down so that they can buy. Now, are they buying here whilst they know prices are going to go lower? Yes, they do. Why? Because that's where the volume is, right here, right now. Can prices go lower? Yes, they can. Right? But they're probably not going to go lower for very long. Right? And if they do, they could dollar cost average just like you can. Right? But they're looking for volume. And this is where the volume is. And that's why they're buying. And they'll continue to buy. Some people will buy and be paper hands and sell as prices start to fall even lower than the current price that we have right now. But the strong hands will survive. Now, as you can see here, Bitcoin has not breaking, it's on a daily, it's not breaking its downtrend. And if we go to the 4 hour, you can see, we are still like just on the 20-day moving average, which is not the average that I normally use. The 20-day moving average, the 20 period moving average, sorry, is showing that, is holding it as resistance. Usually I use the 13 moving average EMA, 13 EMA, and 13 EMA, right, indicates whether or not we're bearish or bullish. You can see that also in the EMA ribbon as well. The EMA ribbon also indicates nicely that we are in a bearish situation and have not reversed this situation. And so thus we have further downside to go. This looks, if I'm not mistaken, looks like a divergence on the 4 hour. So let's just take a look. Yes, it is a divergence. And the beautiful thing is that this divergence is confirmed. And look at that. Is that the MACD as well? Oh yes. Yes, the MACD has a divergence confirmed as well. And you can see, let's see here. Let's try, let's look at the RSI. Yes, the RSI has also a confirmed divergence. This is extremely powerful when two indicators show a divergence in their, their momentum. That means although price is moving downwards and it seems like hell on earth, the momentum or push to push it downward has subsided greatly. This means that doesn't mean that you can go for a long right now. It just means if you can find a setup for that's going to take you long, it will have more power now that those two indicators are flashing green. So where do we see a long here? Well, I don't see one. Not on the 4 hour. I see only more downside risk on the 4 hour, and same with the hourly. So we're going to have to wait and see and wait and allow these candlesticks to play out before we can see any kind of reversal pattern that we can take a long on. Unfortunately, this pattern here, this fractal here, is a bearish one indeed. And if it is bearish enough, it could come back all the way down and refill this whole candle sometime in the next few candlesticks. So we can see in the next few days. And then once it does, I think you can start looking for a bullish situation, bullish candles to actually take the long on. Because that is going to probably take us, let's see here, at least to the 96, just below the 96 at the very least. I don't see us traveling that far upwards, but let's take a look at a Fibonacci sequence, reversal sequence, and see if there's any kind of key level somewhere. Yeah, 38.2 is most likely all we're going to do. And there it is, 95, the 96 to 96 area is where we can possibly see some sort of reversal to that level in the next little while, if the bullish diversion plays out and we see some sort of candlestick that tells us, hey, time to go long. So we'll be looking out for that, and I will be adding that to my school if I find any kind of indicator. Hey, let's go long. Okay, well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you do take action with the current situation of the market. There's a clear present danger that the whole financial system comes to an end, and we see a collapse of this monetary system when money stops working. We're going to see Bitcoin as the new money or something else. I don't know. But I really think people will have a hard time trusting our governments and financial institutions after the system collapses. You see it everywhere, and you know that it's coming. hopefully you will actually take action and prevent yourself from huge loss in this new transition to the new financial system that's coming. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.